Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a highly requested video. This is as fast as I could get this video done because I just received my Tati Beauty palette in the mail. So I didn't know if I was going to get PR. I've met Tati before, but only once, so I just wasn't sure, and she's a new brand. She was kind enough to send this to me, but I also purchased one because I just didn't want to be without it in case something happened. She got busy, so I did receive this PR yesterday. But my palette that I purchased is out for delivery today. So I know it's sold out right now. I know everyone's extremely excited about this. So I'm going to give my palette that I purchased to one of you guys. So I will have all the information down below how to enter the giveaway. But I just want to give back. Of course, thank you so much to Tati for sending this over. But regardless, I like to support and buy it. So either way, a giveaway for you guys is what I'm going to do. So here is the PR package. I have to say it's so beautiful. It's like a book. So this is a textured neutral Volume 1, and I like the way that she did this PR because seriously I could put this on my coffee table. This really could be like a decor piece. It's small, it gets the point across, it's not a bunch of, you know, wasted packaging and all those things that we see in PR a lot, so I do commend her for this. I just think it looks really sleek. So here is the inside. There is a handwritten note, which I thought was such a good touch, just because a lot of times when you get PR, obviously it's super cool, but sometimes it's just very kind of generic, and to have this handwritten note is just like an extra step that she took to really acknowledge the people that she chose to send PR to. So super sweet, nice little note in here, and then here is the beautiful palette. So I'm excited. I haven't swatched this. I haven't done anything with it because I literally just got it yesterday, and I told myself don't put your grimy little paws in there until you can do this video. Okay, it is definitely weighted. My first impression when I hold it, it's definitely heavy, but still quite compact, so you could travel with this. So it does have that kind of soft matte packaging, which I actually like. It's just, what's the word? Sophisticated is how it feels, and it says Tati Beauty. Now you will get fingerprints on here. I already do have some, so just kind of keep that in mind. And it says Volume 1. I think I had heard somewhere that she has like 30 things in the works, so I'm excited to see what she comes out with. So as you see, you do get the huge mirror in here, which I think is amazing that she made it pretty much as big as she could make it, so this is perfect for travel. And I know she said you could flip this all the way back, which I love in my palettes. You can lay it flat, or eventually she said it will give to flip all the way back, which is kind of how I set my palettes because I do have a mirror in front of me. So this palette is made in the USA, it's cruelty free, and it retails for $48. You can get it on Tati Beauty exclusively. So I'll have that link down below. I think they're doing pre-orders at the moment because it did sell out, but I think she did say she's going to try to restock before the holidays, and then of course I'm going to give one away, so make sure you enter that. So in this palette there are 4 different finishes, and they go by row. So there's 6 colorways, 4 finishes, so it actually kind of lines up. So you have the matte on the bottom, the sequin, which I think is really unique. I'm interested to try. The metallics, and then you have the glitters. Now Tati is known for glitters. I feel like when I envision her and her makeup style, she always has like intense glitter on her lid. So I think this is really on brand for her. In terms of the shades, you have quite a bit of neutrals, but then you have this kind of poppy, it's like a pinky purple shade. So we have Poet, Aura, Soothe, Story, Ritual, and Memory. I'm actually drawn to this for whatever reason. I just feel like it's such a smoky, pretty like black gunmetal row. But I know a lot of people are drawn to the Poet row, which is like that really pretty pinky. And I don't know if you can see, but the shade right here, especially in person, the sequin has like blue reflect in there, so it's a little bit of a twist. I think you can keep this extremely neutral, but you can also pull it into a little bit more colorful looks using these outer edges or the outer colors. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch them by the actual color so you can see what they look like in terms of each finish. Instead of just doing the glitters and the metallics, I'm going to go up so that we can see the differences and just kind of the color story with the different finishes. So I've zoomed you guys in, we did the swatches. I wanna go ahead and start playing. So I'm gonna do a grungy smoky eye. I feel like a lot of people are gravitating towards the pink in the palette, which is really pretty, like the pinky tones. But I am more like wanting to stay in the realm over here. So we're gonna start off with the shade Ritual right here. So I did apply some powder under my eyes because I wanna catch fallout. I just prefer to do my foundation first. You don't have to, you could always do your eyes first. So this is Ritual Matte Formula. So what I wanna do is pack this on the eye. I'm using, I don't even know, maybe it's a Morphe G13. It's kind of coming off. Really any kind of packing brush, or this one is a little bit more fluffy. So I'm actually gonna go in reverse. I need to get my mirror close. I'm gonna go in reverse of what I would typically do. Typically I would do like a, you know, a transition and kind of deepen from there. But when you're doing a really grungy smoky eye, I feel like you wanna go the opposite direction. So this is really, really pigmented, which is a good sign. And I'm gonna go a little bit above my natural crease. I feel like I can zoom you in even more. Why not? Let's get up close and personal here. So whenever I'm doing a smoky eye, I actually am so nervous because anytime you use really, really dark shades, specifically like blacks, it just gets a little bit scary for me. But I've heard that this black is really good, so we will see when we start playing. Okay, so once we've applied that, I want to go into Soothe the Matte, and I'm going to use this to blend this out. So I'm using a different brush that has no product on it, and I want to use really light pressure and blend this up. The key to smoky eyes is to always start slow, because you can always add. But once you go a little bit crazy, things can get out of hand. So I'm just blending the edges of where I laid that. Very, very light hand. That's one thing I've learned, and I even am guilty of it, is the lighter the pressure, the better the result. I don't know if you noticed, but when you watch, wow, these are blending impeccably. Is that a word? These are impeccable. The blend on these. But I don't know if you noticed when you watch professional makeup artists, they look so dainty in the way that they handle their tools. And I think it's because once they set something down, they don't want to disrupt it. I know a lot of us tend to be heavy-handed and we're just sloppy, you know, because we're just trying to get out the door. I am so guilty of that. So something like this, you really gotta be patient, which is not my best quality. Let's say that. This is blending like, wow. So did you guys pick up this palette? Are you going to? You know what's interesting is, a lot of the times, you know, neutral palettes come out and everybody's kind of bored, but I feel like Tati, she changed the game, you know, because this is neutral, but it's still enticing. It's still got a different element to it. I think she did a great job just choosing the shades. So this is like a staple palette, but you can amp it up with those glitters, which I think is what sets it apart. And the glitters are creamy upon using them, just swatching them. They have a binder in them. You can tell they're not dry and flaky. They spread, which I think is really important. So for new beginners or people that just don't want to mess with like glitter glue and all that, these are very creamy. So I'm excited to get them onto the lid and see how they apply. Okay, so now that we blended that out and it's kind of just blown out, it looks more seamless, I'm gonna go into Memory and the matte shade in here as well. So I'm taking a Wayne Goss number 18 brush, and I wanna focus this on the outer portion, and I'm using kind of tapping motions, and then you can go in and blend with the brushes you used before. So I'm using this to add depth. So kind of applying it and then going in, again, light hand with that brush and just kind of blending everything together. So I'm taking that same shade just with a different brush that's more targeted. This is from a BH Cosmetics set. So there's a little bit of kick up from the powders or the mattes in the pan, but nothing, you know, different than normal. So again, I'm using this really on the outer corner to really make sure I have depth. I can't honestly believe how easy this is to work with, because dark shades are just notorious for just being patchy or grabbing. I honestly cannot believe this blend. I am using very light pressure, so I definitely recommend that. But I mean, this looks pretty smooth. Wow. So I do want to go in and try a metallic. So I'm going to go in with Memory, the metallic, and it looks like it almost has a kind of blue shift. I am also going to use glitter, but I'm going to use my finger here. The metallics feel very creamy, and what I notice is they're not chunky. A lot of metallics are quite chunky. They're just, I don't know, it's almost like they have too much emollient and they flake and they get chunky. This feels really smooth, and when you touch the pans, there's no chunks flying everywhere. So it's very smooth in formula, and I think Tati did mention that that was something that was important to her. So I'm going to take this and apply to the lid. Ooh, that's pretty. Now this is dry, by the way. I just want to play around with this, but I am going to put the glitter on, of course. I can't not use the glitter. Ooh, this is beautiful. I like the tone of this too, the kind of blue shift it has. It's like a gray, blue, black. So of course I have to go in with the glitter. I am gonna go in with Memory. So really I'm just like zoning in on this section here. I just think it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna go in with this glitter. When you touch these, they are emollient and they come off easily. So you don't need to like jam in there, just lightly touch. I don't wanna go too far. So I'm gonna start with what's on my finger. And I really wanna kinda disperse this almost to look, oh my gosh, wow. I don't want to like swipe it on because I'm not looking for 100% like thick, you know, like a cut crease. Oh my gosh, wow, 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 wow. I'm just using it as an all over glitter. Wow, this is beautiful. So just kind of tapping and then swiping a little bit, and you can see there's still some on my finger, but it is applying quite easily. So if you're new to glitters and you know, want to play with them, but you find yourself getting intimidated by the glitter glue and all of that, wow, 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 wow. You absolutely want to do your eyes first or use a powder like I did. So I'm gonna flick this away. And when you're doing this, one thing I've noticed is I have a tendency again to be heavy-handed, but that's just gonna press that into your eye or into your skin. So you want to use very like flicking motions to flick that pigment off rather than rubbing it into the skin, if that makes sense. So off camera, I did apply some lashes. These are from Lashaholics and the style is Belle. I will link them down below, but I want to start on the lower lash line. So going back into Ritual in the matte formula, I'm going to use one of the brushes I used earlier, and I really want to start smoking out the lower lash line. So I want this to be really smoky, so I'm going to start with this shade. Kind of gonna mimic what we did on the lid here. By the way, if you hear anything, it's pouring down rain all day today.
Are you almost done?
Yeah.
You said an hour, 2 hours ago.
Listen, I like to take my time when I'm creating. Thank you so much. So to deepen this up even further, going back into the matte Memory, and I really want to keep this close to the lash line. So it should look something like this. I'm gonna go in with a matte black liner. This is from Sephora in #1. Everything I use today I'll link down below, but wow. And I'm gonna use this in the waterline. So I'm gonna apply it and then smoke a little bit before it sets. And then going back into the matte Ritual and smoking the lower lash line even more. So I wanna make sure that this is really kind of grungy down here. It feels a little unnatural if you're not used to it, like you're almost on your eye bag. Great way to cover up creasing though. So you can see the depth that this brought. You just want to really not be afraid to take it there. So I do want to try out one of the sequin shades. I'm going to go into Aura. It has like a pink shift to it. And I just want to use this on the brow bone. It's really pigmented, like you barely tap in. So use this to highlight my brow bone. It's like a really creamy, like whitish cream shade with some pink glitter in it. And then this is so smoky. I want to use Aura and I want to use the metallic right here for the inner corner. So I actually do want to add a little bit of glitter to the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with the Memory glitter and just apply a little bit right in the center here. Before I go in with my mascara. Alright guys, so here is the finished makeup look using the Tati Beauty palette. For my lips, I'm wearing Shayla ColourPop Slow Down, just in case you were wondering. I reapplied it, but I have to say, I am really impressed with the quality of this palette. You never know because, I don't know, I mean, every brand is going to say their product is great and revolutionary, but I really feel like these mattes were incredible to blend. I just could not believe there was no choppiness. I didn't have any issues. Usually when I use really dark shades like this brown or this black, I just have choppiness. It sticks or it blends away, and I didn't have any of that. I'm honestly shocked. Just the mattes stand out to me, number one. I think the sequins will be the one that I use the least because she did say you want to pat them on. So unless you're going to use them like on the lid, I find myself probably not using that row as much. The metallics are super creamy and buttery. This one is so beautiful, which is Memory. This whole row, Memory, just really stands out to me. Just how creamy this is, and when I put it on the lid, it really did look like just like asphalt on the lid. It almost gave you that glossy lid look, and then the glitters are just beautiful, so user friendly, and I think that's what she was going for. Just so creamy for a pressed glitter. Usually they are, you know, like kind of chunky, flaky. You have to use a glitter glue, and you don't have to do that with this. I think this is Tati through and through, and I mean, I can envision her just wearing this every day. So I really think her first palette is a hit. I cannot wait to see what else she comes out with because I want to see some more color. I want to see, you know, different colors of glitter, different formulas, but I have to say, stand out for me today are the mattes, are just so easy to work with, and that's super important, especially for beginners, because those are the hardest ones to blend in my opinion. You know, metallic you can put on your lid, but blending mattes is really where people struggle. I am quite literally shook, and I never say that, but I will say that I think she knocked it out of the park, honestly. And I didn't know what to expect because, you know, you see people that love Tati and follow her and they want to give praise to her, so you just really never know. And I think she is an amazing businesswoman. I'm so excited to see what she comes out with, but you know, I can say with 100% certainty that this is easy to use, pigmented, blendable, beautiful. So congratulations to Tati. I'm so excited to have this in my collection. This is usually like, you know, a little neutral for me, but with the extra pops in here, it makes me want to reach for this again. And this was probably the easiest smoky eye that I've ever done. Let me know down below if you picked up this palette, your thoughts about this look. If you want to see more looks, I can do that because obviously I stayed in the smoky realm. I could go towards the pink or even the light kind of bridal shades. So don't forget to enter the giveaway. I'll have the details down below. I'm not going to make it like a huge thing. It'll be pretty easy. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.